You.
All right, I'm on.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network and our continuing coverage of high school and youth sports. It's Friday night. Caleb Brown here along with Coach Blue. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great, man. This is beautiful. There ain't a cloud in the sky and the sun is shining.
And if you believe that one, I got some oceanfront property with the Golden Gate Bridge to sell you. All right, and don't worry. Come game time, I will have no problem making sure people stay out of my camera shot. We have the Heritage Panthers and the Centennial Eagles. Coach, you've watched this team the last couple of weeks. What does everyone not know about Heritage that hasn't already been said?
They are living up to the hype, and they're getting better every week in all phases. Especially special teams was probably, when they played Jensen in the Classic game, the special teams was pretty bad, but they've gotten better every week. In every phase, Joe Tenta has been locked in more every week. He played about 2.5 solid quarters last week, and he played about 2 quarters in satellite. And, if that just continues that trend, you're going to have quite a showdown next week at Oviedo. They've got to take care of business, obviously, here tonight,
right.
And the elements are not in anybody's favor. But if they continue trending the way they are, that's going to be one heck of a showdown next Thursday night at Oviedo.
It really is. And, when you look at what this team likes to do, coming into the season, we had all been saying this team goes as far as Joe Tenta takes them. I mean, don't get us wrong. Heritage athletes for days. They have so many athletes that can make plays and make someone look good. However, we've been waiting for that Joe Tenta step up to be that superstar that everyone's touted him as coming out of West Melbourne.
Yeah, and the beauty of what the talent around him, he doesn't have to be a superstar. He can take care of the football, and if he can get balls to these receivers and these running backs that he's been blessed with, he doesn't have to do anything out of his comfort zone. He doesn't have to do anything amazing. He can take a sack and punt and let that defense take care of business, keep the defense out of bad field position by not turning the ball over. And, there's a lot of pressure on Joe, but guess what? Joe loves it.
Oh, yes.
That comes with the territory when you're a quarterback. You have that pressure on you, and he's handling it the way he's always handled it, with class. He's an outstanding young man. And, not only the players but the coaching staff that Heritage has up and down the board. I mean, they're loaded with talent, coaching. You got Stephen Link as your principal, AJ Ulmer's your AD. I mean, it's just it's a great time to be a Heritage Panther.
Coming in, we don't know a lot about Centennial, but some things you were able to find out during pregame. You said they like to run that option, toss type football. That's not exactly favorable weather when you considering the elements that we're in tonight.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Ainsley, the defensive coordinator, longtime head coach here before the game, and he was saying that they like to do a lot of RPO option stuff, a lot of ball handling, pitches, pulls, throws on the move, and yeah, this weather is not kind to that type of offense. So if you're a team that can pound the ball and just hand it off and make short completions, the weather is more in your favor. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Heritage won the toss and chose to defer. Centennial will be receiving the ball, and Heritage will defer to the second half. So once again, you know what? I like that there. Your defense has got to be the strength of this defense is the strength of this team. Put them out first and let them set the tone. Absolutely.
That's what they've done. They played on a half a field against Palm Bay and Satellite, essentially. Heritage started almost every drive of the first half against Palm Bay and Satellite on a half a field on Palm Bay or Satellite's territory. So that's winning football right there.
Yes.
And it's obviously Satellite, remember their defense came out and they were on point. They were playing really good football, but they were backed up every single time in a bad situation. Same thing with Palm Bay. Mitchell Brown, great defensive coordinator over there at Palm Bay, but his defense was in a bad spot. You want to make this Heritage offense drive 60, 70, 80 yards and earn their points.
Right.
But their defense is so good that, you try to run the ball on first down, it's first and 11, or second down 11, second down and 12, and then you're looking at third and 10, third and 12, third and 14 every possession. And if your punt team's not on, boom, there goes the Heritage offense. They only got to get 40 yards to score. So field position is huge for anybody that plays against that defense.
Here we go. We're getting ready to line up for kickoff. And, when you look at the team stat comparison, as far as rushing, in every category you look, Heritage has the advantage. Heritage comes in tonight with 120 rushing yards a game, 182 passing yards a game, and in total yards, they're averaging about 302 yards a game, where as far as you look at the total yards for Centennial, they're averaging 196.
Yeah. Yeah, stats are great and all that, but it really doesn't matter until foot hits leather and we get going here. But, yeah, on the board, on points and stats and all that, there is a glaring difference. But, with the weather and, we'll see what happens. Got to play the game.
Yeah. Judah Knight comes into tonight averaging 76 yards per game, the leading rusher for the Heritage Panthers. And that one is kicked off. And will be received at about the 15, bringing it up 25 and possibly down about the 27, 28-yard line. And that's where we will see the Centennial offense take over. I'd like to thank American Air and Plumbing. American Air and Plumbing, Brevard's go-to pros for Florida, tough AC and plumbing services, and are proud sponsors of the Brevard Sports Network, Florida Tough Player of the Month. I'll tell you about that and all of our great sponsors throughout the night, as well as the sponsor you see on the bottom of your screen, Connect Sports Funding. Why go out and do car washes and all those hard fundraising platforms when you can just do it simply through Connect Sports Funding? Here, I want to say, yeah, you can take this off the clipboard. All right. Centennial comes out in a 2x2 set, running back sidecar left. I believe that's number 12, the quarterback, right? It is. It's Thompson. Thompson gives the ball off there to number 21. He tries to get to the outside. Follows a great block by the wide receiver. Cuts back and will be escorted out of bounds by that Heritage defense.
That's a great run there. He got the edge, showed some speed there. Had an open field with Tayshawn Townsend, was able to beat him the edge. That's not easy to do. Townsend's a great defensive player.
Amir Shabazz, the running back on the carry there. And the quarterback is number 10, Hexton Mello. That just sounds like a quarterback name. Mello. It's exactly what you want your quarterback to be. Mello in the gun. And he'll give off to Shabazz. Shabazz cuts back and runs right back into that Heritage defense. One.
You might beat one guy off the edge, but you're not going to cut back on this defense.
No. And first tackle made there by number 8, King Maury, from that linebacker position. And that's the thing about this Heritage defense, too, is you're not going to beat them going east and west.
No, you got to go straight down the gut. And then when you do that, you've got guys like Deaven McDonald and King Moore and Tahjay Douglas sitting right there.
But you'd rather go bang heads with somebody rather than try and outrun this defense going side to side. Man in motion. Surveying the field. Fires in, it's going to be caught. Good completion there. That's going to be that should be first down yardage.
Yeah, that was good protection up front. He had plenty of time there, and he checked down. Very hard for a defense to cover that long, especially when you have crossing routes late.
I believe that catch was made by number 2, Paul Burris. And you know what? I kind of like this tempo game here. Well, I thought they were going to go tempo. They're just going line up, and coach will call it from the sideline.
Yeah, the secondary can only cover so long.
Agreed. Mello in the gun, 3-by-1. It's going to be a little wide receiver screen, and easy to read it. Great job making contact there, number 4. That's Townsend.
Yeah, he's a heck of a ball player.
I mean,
he got leverage on that first play, but that probably will not happen again the rest of the game. Sure tackler, very aggressive, great feet.
Mello with Amir Shabazz in the backfield, off to his right side. Mello drops back. He's already rolling out. He flips it out to and another nice read there. See if I can get the number there. That's number
Benson.
That's
Yep.
As soon as I saw 12, I'm like that.
They tried to run a screen there, and he slipped through those offensive linemen leaking out in the flat. It's very hard for an offensive lineman to get their hands on a guy like Benson in the open field.
As an offensive lineman, you're kind of hoping if he slips by you that your guy can make someone miss.
Yeah, they had 3 of them, and that's not enough.
No. Checking in at running back is number 22, Michael Holloman.
3rd and long here.
Ball at about the 33. Mello this time rolls right and trying to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Great pursuit there.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 4th and long.
Number 17, Conrad Bryant there on the tackle. Pursuit from behind. That's a defensive end chasing down a quarterback. Bryant, a really good basketball player. They've got so much speed at every position on that defense. It's crazy.
Truly is, and so
I mean, he's 6'4", chasing down a quarterback in the flats.
Mello, the quarterback and the punter for Centennial. This is where special teams really can make a difference with this kind of weather. See, they got some max protect in there. That's a high snap, and that one will take a eagle bounce and stop at about the 30-31 yard line, and that's where Heritage will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line.
Centennial able to get at least 1 first down on that opening drive. That's something that I don't think any other offense has done to this point.
You start slow. You get that first down, and you kind of try to progress your way up.
Night and day from last week. Last week we had Palm Bay and Dan Burke's offense, very tight formations, and then this week you come out with a spread team. But the Heritage defense up for any challenge at this point.
Now we get to see Joseph Tenta come and run his offense. And he'll hand off. And good job there by Centennial. First one on the play there was number 4, Jeremiah Phillip.
Yeah, lots of penetration and not much push up front.
And I watched Phillip there. He had a good first step off the ball. He's going to be someone I think we're going to be calling a lot tonight, whether in the backfield or just making a play. The kid looks like he loves to just fly around. Knight on Tenta's right side. Knight will take the carry. Knight, he's got some room. He makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. Midfield, brought down at about the 29-yard line.
Just give him a seam. He'll run through arm tackles. He's got strength, and he's got a great cut. He can cut sharp, nice shallow cut, full speed. Another guy coming in just to make this team even better.
I as we take a timeout here, and I like to, again, remind everyone that tonight's game is partly sponsored by Connect Sports Funding, one of the easiest ways to take care of all your fundraising needs. For more information, head to connectsportsfunding.com to see just how easy it is to raise lots of money without having to go do car washes and bucket drops. Eliminate all the easy work, but all you're doing is sending out a link. Hey, Grandma, we're trying to raise some money. Could you just enter your card and send the money? Send the money? Sure, no hassle, no sales, no nothing. But when it pertains to Judah Knight, I've had the opportunity to watch that young man come up from Suntree Vieira Youth Football, and it's scary how much faster he's gotten from that time.
I mean, if he's hitting the weight room, that's the natural progression of things. That's one way to get faster is you work your butt off in the weight room.
Tenta in the gun. Once again, going to hand the ball off and just great job by that Centennial defense. First one to at least make contact was number 24, Sebastian Jean Pierre.
Got the head track coach, Dean Benson, tuning into the broadcast. Decided to stay at home on the couch.
I don't blame him. Listen, why come out here, get soaked, and pay the ticket price when you can sit and watch this game on BSN on the big screen, have a beverage of your choice? Tenta comes out in a 3-by-1 set, running back to his right side.
Centennial has a very small defensive line.
And there is the screen. Evades one tackle, gets maybe a couple of yards on the play. That was Xavier Alexander.
Yeah, you can tell the footing it's a little bit wet out there, a little bit sloppy because he's usually one step and gone.
Yep.
But, yeah, what Centennial lacks in size up front, they make up for with speed. Their defensive line, they've got number 99's a pretty big boy out there. 33's tall but slender, but they make up for lack of size with their speed and their pursuit.
Tenta comes out. Knight is your running back on the left side. Tenta calls for the ball. Delayed handoff to Knight, and great job fighting off that block there by number 33.
Unfortunately, we don't have 33 on the roster, but that was a heck of a play right there.
Hold up, let me see if I can.
And it's 4th down, but typically when Heritage crosses the 40-yard line, they're in 4-down territory.
Thank you. I was told number 33's name is Brooks.
I'm going to write that down because we may be calling his name a couple more times.
I want to say, I'm like, he's got size and quick for a guy his size, too. And they like to move around to both sides of the ball. Tenta drops back. He's going to fire, and it's going to be caught.
Great ball, 1st down. Great timing right there. You're starting to see Joe develop some timing with Alexander, which is not good for the other team.
No, it's not. And it'll be placed at the 16 or 17-yard line with 3:51 left to go here in quarter number 1. I'd like to thank Connect Sports Funding for their partnership with the Brevard Sports Network. I'd also like to thank another one of our great sponsors, Global Polygraph Analysis.
So many weapons for Heritage, it's hard to key on any one guy.
Heritage keeping the tight end in a 2-by-1 set. Gives it off to Knight. Knight breaks one tackle and eventually gets brought down after a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play.
I'll tell you what, 33 Brooks, he can move, man. He is an unblocked, unaccounted for guy. They're essentially letting him go when they're running zone away from him. And he got a hand on Judah Knight there and almost brought him down. He can move, and he looks like he's probably at least 6'4", maybe more.
I want to say, I think calling him 6'4" is a bit conservative. So 2nd down and about 5, we'll call it. Tenta shouts directions back to Knight. Sends a man in motion. He hands off to Knight. Knight stopped in the backfield, and once again, there's Brooks.
Yep, and they had numbers over there. They had Keegan Machell's over there, but he looked up. There's 3 guys in his face. They just did not have numbers on that side.
And that'll bring up 3rd down. He lost a couple. They're going to call it 3rd and 8 now.
Without the value of replay, I can't tell you, but I'm going to say they had a slant called to that side, and they Tecmo bowled Heritage and ended up with numbers over there.
3-by-1 set 3 to the top of your screen. Tenta calls for the ball. Tenta looking.
Just take the sack. Okay.
Slips out of the – and that's good. Throw to the end zone, and it's nearly caught.
You had two guys. That was, that's two football players trying to be football players. You had Machell and Alexander in the same vicinity over there. Machell went up, tried to make a play. Alexander was behind him, and unfortunately he wasn't able to come down with it. That was a great job by Joe there, keeping his feet alive. I was saying just take the sack, don't force anything, but heck of a play by Joe getting out of there.
And
it turns into scramble drill when the quarterback leaves the pocket. All the routes are off. The deepest guy's supposed to come back. The shallow guy's supposed to go deep, and the middle guy's supposed to go straight across the middle of the field, and sometimes you get guys in the same vicinity.
Two tight ends. Tenta looking back towards the end, steps up, and
there's holding there. There's a flag. That was a good job by Joe putting it up in the back pylon, and either his guy was going to have a shot or nobody was going to have a shot. And the Centennial guy grabbed a hold of the jersey because he knew he was dead meat.
So, and since that, I'm trying to remember what the high school rule is. If it happened in the end zone, is it still just half the distance?
I believe so. I think it's an automatic first down, half the distance.
All right.
Well, maybe not automatic first down.
Nope, it's just half the distance. So it's still fourth down. We're going to retry it. Fourth and about 2, maybe 3. He's got Knight in the backfield. And Knight, I thought he picked up the first down.
Great pursuit.
This is going to depend on where they spot this football.
He's nodding his head like he made it.
I know. But Centennial sending out their offense.
We get a measurement and get things rolling.
Can we get an initial call? No one really gave it a call. You said one official nodding his head.
It looks like he's eyeballing it. Still no call.
And then bring out the 6 and measure it.
And it looks like they will bring out the sticks. Here we go.
This is going to be crucial, especially if you're Centennial, to be able to get that first stop of this Heritage offense. And, of course, the players stand right in the way of the ball. Or I would zoom in.
Looks like he was short.
He is short. You know what? And good for Centennial there. You know, they had to dig in their heels deep and not allow a first drive score. And I think that really builds builds confidence throughout the team.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge stand. Huge.
I swear it wasn't me. Great stop by the Centennial defense, and first and 10 from about the 7-yard line. Going to hand it off to the back end. That Heritage defense swallowed.
Appreciate Donnie Reiber with the scores. We got 7, Cypress Creek 7, MCC 0.
Okay.
Palm Bay 7, Harmony 0.
Let's go,
St. Thomas Aquinas 7, Cocoa 0, and Rockledge 7, Vieira 0. Appreciate the scores, Donnie.
Absolutely. Donnie, a big part of what BSN does on Friday nights. He helps Alan write the recaps, and he's providing scores to, I believe, all the streams. He'll jump onto the different streams, and when he's got a bunch of scores, we'll post them all. So Mello, hand the ball off again. And
See
wow.
that difference there with Townsend?
Yes.
He stayed outside, kept contained. You know, you make a mistake one time and learn from it. So the first play of the game he lost contain. There he stayed outside shoulder, made him cut back inside, and you have help inside, you have no help outside. Pursuit drill comes from inside. Great job by Townsend there, holding the edge.
Well, and you know, even in that sense, like you said, he stayed outside, where even if you miss the tackle, you're now forcing him to cut back inside.
As long as he comes back inside, you did your job.
Exactly. Mello in the gun. It's a 2x2. Hands off to the back again. Oh, no, he keeps it.
Deaven McDonald's right there.
But Deaven McDonald, they're going to give him, I think, the forward progression.
Yeah, when you play a Mark Ainsley defense, you can guarantee that they're going to be assignment sound on the option. So he's got, they call it cop key. He's got a guy on quarterback. He's got a guy on running back. And Deaven McDonald, their head quarterback, and he stayed outside leverage of him the entire play.
And that will be the final play of the first quarter with your score. 0-0, as you see right there on the American Air and Plumbing scoreboard. We're going to take a quick moment to grab a drink ourselves and bring you back for second quarter action right here on the Brevard Sports Network. Welcome back here, second quarter. And big fourth down. Now, look, this gets interesting in a lot of ways here.
This is not where you want to be.
No. You got to know where that line is. You got to make sure that's a perfect snap. Any misdirection could lead to points for Heritage.
And that end of that corner of the end zone over there can be the soupiest part of the field also.
And he
get
got
away,
that.
Just get away, get away,
Yep.
get away.
That's a fire call, and it will take an Eagles bounce.
21-yard drive. That's all Heritage. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the game. You cannot give them a short field. I mean, you can't do it with anybody, but especially with Heritage. I mean, the best case scenario when you're punting out of the back of the end zone is the other team starts on, the 50?
Right.
You know, but now they're starting from the 21. That's a killer. Especially when your defense had that great stop.
Absolutely. You felt like, okay, maybe momentum might be swinging back to our sideline, and then you have something like this happen. Tenta, 3-by-1 set, Knight in the backfield. Hands it off to Knight. Judah Knight.
Good hard run there.
Dishing out some punishment before he's brought down. And he'll have a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play.
Good job up front at the point of attack. That was the backside linebacker coming across, making the play. Great run. Anytime you can get 5 yards on first down, that is winning football. I mean, they've got, because they're in 4-down territory basically anytime they're inside the 40. So if you think 2nd and 5, they've got 3 plays to get 5 yards.
UbrZati red zone is what Heritage is in. Tenta fires.
He had him. He had him. Looked like the receiver kind of sat there in the hole, and Joe thought he was going to keep going.
I know, me personally, I thought he was going to keep going because that just looked like that perfect opportunity to keep going.
I thought it might have slipped out of his hand at first, but then I saw Joe looking to the sideline, and he was motioning like he was supposed to keep running, but when you play a zone, sometimes you do
You're right.
stop those slants and crossing routes in the hole, but just a little miscommunication there.
I thought it was maybe like a new stop and go slant. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Tenta hands off to Knight. Knight tries to escape one tackle. There's number 33, Brooks again coming in and being a disruptor in that backfield.
Little delayed handoff there. Didn't fool the D-line.
Brooks was coming no matter what. He said, I'm going to hit that running back whether he's got the ball or not. And that's going to be a timeout called by Heritage with 10:29 left to go here in quarter number 2. I'm going to go and move this out here because that's getting soaked. Again, I'd like to thank another one of our great partners here in American Air and Plumbing. American Air and Plumbing, or trust American Air and Plumbing to plumbing for fast AC repairs or rugged AC systems like their Florida edition, built to withstand the brutal Florida climate, or the revolutionary Denick AC with rebates up to $1,800 and warranties up to 12 years. American Air and Plumbing, visit them online at www.americanairplumbing.com, serving Brevard since 1942. So they've been serving Brevard since World War II.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Hey, see, I paid attention during history class. I know a couple years. Don't ask me everything, but that's actually one of my favorite wars to study was World War II. Just because I thought there was a lot of intrigue there.
Here we go, big 4th down.
4th down, Tenta drops back, and that time, did he?
It was a little late. It was tipped.
It was tipped 3 times. But there is a flag on the play. Let's check what the call is. And I from what I'm seeing motion-wise, that might be the offense.
That ball was late coming out. He was waiting for it, and it gave the time the defense to converge on the routes.
Personal foul on Centennial.
Wow, that's a killer for. Oh man.
Wait, does that mean the offense comes back?
Yeah.
The offense comes back out, and there's a new life.
Yeah, that's a killer for Centennial. I mean, they stopped him again on a 4th down inside the red zone, and then somebody made a bad decision.
And that's half the distance. So it'll be 1st and goal inside, what's that, the 7? 6
yeah,
or
you just can't make mistakes. When you're playing a team that's equal talent to you,
yes,
the mistakes kill you. But when you're playing a team that has more talent than you, it makes it that much worse.
So 1st and goal from – wait, they're replaying 4th down is what it was. So it happened during the play. Okay, I was saying, I'm legitimately confused.
Is it another half the distance? Half the distance.
Remember, though, it is half the distance. It's not the full 15. Oh, it's half the distance, yes. Half the distance, and with 10:23 left to go here in quarter number 2. They're going to replay 4th down, is from my understanding. That's the sticks have been checked, and they are correct. So now it's been changed. Now it's a 1st down.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait a minute, folks.
You got to have another conference.
So
they'll get it figured out here, hopefully.
I'll say this, though. I don't know if the rules vary. So, for example, did you happen to catch any of that Duke-Clemson game?
I did.
So you might know the sequence of play I'm going to talk about. Clemson is trying to drive the ball with, I think, 2 or 3 minutes left. Quarterback slides, and there's a late hit after the play is ruled dead, but it was 4th down. The quarterback was short. And so Duke took over.
But Duke took over, and they marked off 15?
Yeah, and they just took 15 yards from the offense. Okay. Anyway, here we go. It's 1st and goal from the 7. There's Townsend. That's Benson. Benson, the pile is being pushed, and it will be stopped at about the 1 or 2 yard line. And it's being placed on the 1.5. Personally, I side with Billy Palmer. If you can't get a half a yard, or yard and a half off a quarterback sneak, then. But you know what? I don't disagree with this call either. Benson into the end zone, touchdown, Heritage.
He's so strong. He looks slender, but he is so strong. His feet are so great, and he always keeps his feet going. He's very, very tough to bring down, and they like him down there in that goal line situation. He finds a crease.
Snap. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 9:33 left to go here in quarter number 2, the Heritage Panthers get on the board after getting some help from a penalty. Well, combination of short field plus the penalty keeping the drive alive, putting Benson in the end zone from a yard and a half out. It's 7-0 Heritage on top.
Yeah, the Centennial defense held out as long as they possibly could. Held out the first quarter, and but make mistakes. Special teams punting out of the back of your end zone, giving them the ball on the 21-yard line. You can only hold for so long.
Braden Davis doing the kicking duties for Heritage. Again, we'd like to thank another one of our great sponsors, American Air and Plumbing, and also like to thank a bunch of our other great sponsors, and we'll do that in between drives here. And there's the kick, and it will go through the end zone for a touchback. Looking like Brady Denneberg out at Syracuse. Touchback City.
Yeah. If you could do that all the time, that's very successful special teams.
Absolutely.
Don't give them a chance. A lot of times in high school when you're afraid of the returners, you kick a ground ball diagonally and give them the ball at the 35 or the 40 and just stay away from putting it in the hands of the dangerous guys. But if you have the ability to kick the ball in the end zone like that every time, you make them go 80 yards every drive.
And especially with this Heritage defense, you'll take that bet all day long.
For sure.
Mello with 2 backs in the backfield. Mello gives to the second back, and he is wrapped up and thrown to the ground. Number 54 coming in, and I don't have a 54 on the roster for Heritage.
And then look what you got. Your 2nd and 14. We've seen it now. This is the 4th week now where you see teams try to run the ball on 1st down, and they end up in 2nd and long and then 3rd and long. It's just not a good situation to be in against this defense.
Kalik Williams was the ball carrier there. He's still in the backfield. Mello calls for the snap. Drops back. He's going to swing it out to a running back who makes a man miss. And he picks up a nice little gain.
That was a great call right there. Hit the running back on a swing pass.
Believe that might be number 8, Jacob Javi. And that'll bring it third and very much, man. Third and looks to be about 5. Short 4, long 5. Mello calls for the ball. Getting pressured, steps up, fires. He's got a man wide open and overthrew him.
He was wide open. He found a space over the middle of the field.
He's looking for Paul Burris, the second.
Got to take advantage of those.
And you know what? He had room to run because, let's be real, I didn't see which defender was coming across the field. If he just takes a step back, he's then got all that open green to race towards the sideline and, possibly making someone else miss. However, it's 4th down for Centennial, and the Heritage defense kind of gets bailed out there. There's the snap, step, and much better punt. This one will take an Eagles bounce and be picked up at the 47-yard line. And it will be taken to, I believe, the other 47.
So Heritage defense holds out, and they now have a 52-yard drive ahead of them.
8:33 left to go here in the first half. On your Connect Sports Funding scoreboard, score is 7-0 to Heritage. Tenta's going to hand off to Knight. Knight bounces outside, and he'll gain a couple of yards there. Being brought down there by number 17, Mark Woodard. And it'll bring up 2nd and 6 for this Heritage offense. Two receivers to the top, one to the bottom of your screen, tight end in on the set. Sends Knight out in motion. Tenta looking for a screen, and that one fell apart real quick. And he had somebody downfield.
Alexander down here on the screen.
Alexander on the screen. He had Timothy Monroe Jr. out in front of everybody else, behind everybody. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6. Tenta comes out. Tenta on the snap. Steps up, fires. He's got a man, and that one, the wind, I think, got under it. It was floated a little more than I think was expected. He was looking for Timothy Monroe Jr. Great leap up by the defender, too, to just also knock it off its projected path.
Yeah, they defended the screen well on 2nd down, and they defended that well on 3rd down. Centennial's defense is playing well.
Yes, they are.
If they can stay out of the shadow of their goalposts, change the game, and they can flip field position here.
So it's 4th down, and we're punting the football. And that's a bouncing kick. It'll be marked out at about the 19-yard line. And the coach was upset there. Coach was getting on the official about something from Centennial. First and 10 from the 19-yard line, their own 19-yard line. Centennial starts. And like you said, their defense has been playing really well. Number 8, the back in the backfield, that's Timothy Smith. Mello takes a snap, hands off to Smith. Smith trying to get around that left side, cuts back inside. He's got himself a nice little lane and picks up a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play. Great job by Smith to looking, saw the cutback lane and took it, no hesitation.
Yeah, and I'll give them credit, too. They're not shying away from running on first down either.
No. Seven minutes left to go here in quarter number 2. Mello getting a read on the defense, calls for the snap, gives it to...
Nothing there in the middle.
Gives it to Smith, yeah, and Smith stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
We got a couple score updates. We got O'Galley 15-0 over Winter Haven. We've got Cocoa 9-7 over St. Thomas Aquinas. Rockledge 19-7 over Vieira, and Titusville 21-0 over Celebration.
Let's go Coach Holmes in Titusville.
The touchdown was Tayshawn Benson.
From a yard and a half out.
Yep, and we're 7-0 here.
And how about that? Cocoa over St. Thomas, 9-7. And timeout called by Centennial. With 5:59 left to go here in the second quarter, I'd like to thank a lot of our other sponsors here. Archaic Designs Kitchen and Bath, UbrZati, Best Private Investigations, Beach Wave Volleyball, Connect Sports Funding, BlackRock Engineering and Technology, Kel Clean, and Global Polygraph Analysis. Thank you to all the sponsors who step up and support Brevard Sports Network and our goal to give all these athletes here in Brevard County the exposure that they so rightly deserve. And for giving me a great thing to do on a Friday night.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, look.
This is fun.
Look, if I was, I'd probably find some way to go watch a game, but I'd still be, twiddling my thumbs, kind of just ho-hum.
I'd probably be going insane. Billy called me up a couple of years ago and said, hey, you want to call a game with me? And I had never in my life thought about doing this. But, man, do I enjoy it. It is so much fun.
And Centennial here. Wow, I'm way loud. Dropping back to pass. There's the screen.
Great job playing it. That's what you do against an aggressive, fast defense who's charging into the backfield is you try to screen them, but Heritage just does a great job adjusting, rerouting. Third down is, you always yell out, defensive guys always yell out, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen on third down. It's tough because that's, one way that you try to keep a fast defense honest, but third down, usually defenses are looking for the screen.
And it's going to bring up fourth down now for Centennial as Mello back there to punt.
They need to get a good punt here.
That was a nice snap. And that punt is skyrocketed. Peter is the call. And it will be downed on the 44 or 43-yard line. So 43 yards, Heritage has to go to put points on the board with 4:58 left to go here in the first half.
I'll tell you what, if you're a Centennial fan before the game and I said, hey, it's going to be 7-0 with 5 minutes left in the first half.
You would.
Okay.
Sure.
We're in the game. We're right there. The coaches wouldn't be happy with that because they don't have any points and they want to be winning. But the Centennial defense doing a great job so far in this game, holding the Heritage offense.
Absolutely. Look, hey, I'll be the first one to say it. Preview show. We were talking before the broadcast. I was expecting a the clock to be in a track meet by second half. I think we're going to have a full slate game here. I've been very impressed by this Centennial defense. Tenta in the pistol. Tenta fakes the handoff to Knight on the end around. And that was number 16 coming on that end around.
We don't have a 45 for Heritage. Maybe we can get one of those fancy press guides they got down there.
45.
He was the tailback on that.
Oh. Well, good gosh. This water just appears everywhere. And he gives off to 45 again. 45 slips right on through, and he'll have enough for a Heritage first down.
Great seal block there by Machell, number 15. Megan Machell led up in there and sealed off. Was on his way to a pancake and then got twisted at the very end. Great blocking tight end. That's one of the hardest positions to fill in high school football, is a good tight end who has hands, has speed, but is also physical at the point of attack in the trenches. If you can get a good tight end, that can completely change your offense.
Daniel Dolly is number 45. Motions a sniffer, and there's Dolly again. Dolly, he's got some room. Slipping out of tackles left and right and brought down inside the 15-yard line.
Followed the lead block of Machell again. Machell leading up like a fullback. That's versatility right there. You got a guy you can line him up at tight end, put him in as a wing, put him as a sniffer, slide him across. He ISOs up, kicks out. That's a huge, huge versatile player there.
And it will be 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line. Machell back in motion. And Dolly will be wrapped up. There is a flag thrown, and usually when a flag is thrown like that, there's only one call that comes to mind.
Yeah, and he did not follow his lead block on that particular play.
Well.
He went the opposite way and met a host of tacklers. Great penetration, though, by Centennial.
And that's going to back him up 10 yards. And see, all right, okay, so would you call yourself a football fundamentalist?
I sure hope so.
Okay, well, the reason I'm asking is because
that's where it all starts.
Okay, so, but like what I mean is like you like the rules the way they were.
Well, now if you're talking about rules,
okay,
all right. This game, the way they keep fooling around with rules in this game, I don't know.
No. What I'm saying, previous to all the fooling,
okay.
I think when you're inside the red zone, inside the 20, it should be half the distance penalties on the offense. I don't think it should be the full 10 yards inside the red zone. Tenta swings that one outside. He's got room and fights his way down, and I think there might be some yardage.
Flag.
There might be some yardage there after the play because I believe I thought I saw a defender grab a face mask.
Yeah, if you're Centennial, the one thing you do not want to see is you don't want to see number 3 catch the ball in space with room to get ahead of steam because holding on Heritage, you're going to have a long first down.
I had the chance to watch Cordero in the spring game back when he was playing for Bayside, and just the amount of punishment he's willing to dish out as well as take from the running back position is absolutely insane. He's a tough and speedy young man.
All of those Heritage skill guys are tough as nails.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they love to dish out a hit when they have the ball in their hand.
And so it'll be 1st and 15. Well, because I believe in high school it's still a spot foul, I believe. So if the hold happened near the end of the run, it's 10 yards from the hold, I believe.
They changed the rule this year. It was supposed to be 10 yards from the spot, where the ball started, from the line of scrimmage. But
anyway, there's an incomplete pass, and it's 2nd and 15.
we have a score update. Cocoa 16, St. Thomas 7. Hold up. Donnie on the spot. Second down and about 18. Oh,
Football's on the ground. Centennial's recovered it. There is a flag on the play. Illegal motion.
Illegal shift, declined, turnover.
And Centennial creates a turnover here.
Yeah, it looked like it was catching the snap and then going into the mesh. Something happened there, and they didn't get the mesh. Centennial defense holding its ground.
Hey, look.
2:31 left in the half, and it's 7-0. I know that defensive coordinator for Centennial is real proud of his guys right now.
Oh, exactly. You know, and if you're even the defensive coordinator, you kind of go in saying, "Hey, offense, we're helping you out, but
let's help us out." Absolutely.
we got you a turnover. All right, we'll take one. We dropped one, but we got it back for you. Mello motions out a man. What a way to escape a potential sack. That ball is caught.
Yep, it's a great play.
That's
going to be some time.
First down, Centennial.
And you hit a comeback. If you time the comebacks right, those are almost impossible to stop.
2:20 and counting left to go here in the first half. If you're Centennial, I'd like to see a little more urgency. I mean, about 15 seconds has gone from completion to lining back up. Mello steps up, fires. He's got himself a couple of receivers. An interception for the Heritage Panthers.
Yeah, he's not going to like that on film when he sees it tomorrow. That was pretty much a jump ball. He's got to use his feet there.
Tayshawn Townsend.
And Heritage secondary coach is going to be Mike Benson Sr. He's going to be very happy about that because Heritage has probably had about 7 or 8 of those balls hit him in the chest so far this year that could have been picks, and they came away with one there, so that's huge.
So here comes the offense now with 1:48 left to go in the half.
Palm Bay 30, Harmony 0. What a bounce back for Palm Bay from last week.
Palm Bay 30-0 over Harmony.
Huge bounce back for Palm Bay. But we saw Palm Bay last week. Their defense dug in. They did not want to get that running clock, and they fought all the way to the end. They did not lay down. They did not let up. And, it showed you how good Heritage is, but at the same time, I told defensive coordinator Mitchell Brown after the game, I said, I know it's no consolation because of the final score, but your guys fought all the way to the end, and that's something that you can be proud of.
Absolutely. If there's one thing you're going to know about a Palm Bay team, it's they don't have the quit in them. That's just the attitude of the team. Tenta comes out 2x2. Take one step drop, fires, and it's
good play by number 20 there. Jermonte Kimbrough, the freshman, corner there. Nice pass breakup.
Tenta was looking there for number 15, Keegan Machell. You know what? I said I wasn't going to screw it up, and look at that. 1:42 left to go in the half. Tenta, one-step drop. Fires, caught, and
incomplete, didn't get his feet in.
He's looking there for Timothy Monroe Jr. And there's 1:34 left in the half. And that might just be an offside free play.
No, referee said no.
Okay, well, that's an incomplete.
At a 4th down here, you got a punt.
They wasted all of 10 seconds on that drive.
Yeah, the Heritage offense has struggled to find a rhythm here. Credit to the Centennial defense, but I'm sure they'll regroup at halftime and get it straightened out.
Okay, so I exaggerate a little bit. It might have been 13 or 15. But still, it's still not a lot of time to run 4 plays. And that's a punt off the side of the foot.
I don't know why Centennial players tiptoe around a live ball. It's maddening as a coach.
I don't say you saw the coach coming off yelling, like almost coming up.
That ball is not round, and you have no idea what it's going to do next. You just get away from it. It's a grenade. Just run. But they're all right.
1:19, taking over 1st and 10 on the 40 on their own 47.
St. Thomas Aquinas scored. It is now 16-14 Cocoa over St. Thomas Aquinas. City Councilman Kenny Johnson tuning in to watch the broadcast.
There's a completion to number 2. That's Paul Burris II.
Now, what you don't want to do if you're Centennial here is you do not want to force anything, make a mistake, and you're down 14-0. If you go in that locker room 7-0, don't force anything. If the guy's not wide open, don't throw it. Just use your feet, get what you can get.
Absolutely.
Do not make a big mistake right here.
Mello scrambling. He's going to step up. He's going to call his own number.
That's a wise move.
Taken down by number 44. We do not
be careful swinging that ball around him. He's taking off, though.
do not have on that roster, but hold up. We do have the other roster. Mello sends a man in motion. Mello swing pass, and the running back wasn't paying attention.
They're going to say it was forward incomplete.
Running back there was number
7.2 seconds.
21, Amir Shabazz.
Now you got 4th down and 2. Okay, here comes the punt team.
Coming up at halftime, folks, if the Heritage Band comes and performs on the field, we will leave our microphones open, and you will be able to watch and hear the Heritage Band perform, but I don't think they will be because they haven't even left the stands yet. 7.2 seconds left to go here in the first half.
It cleared up now. It's no more rain. It's a beautiful evening. The field is probably still very soft.
And they don't want to ruin the band doesn't want to ruin the instruments. You know, look, understandable that they have their own competitions and stuff they got to go compete in throughout the year. You don't want to ruin your instruments.
I don't pretend to know anything about
look.
Band. I will say this, though. Last week I sat with my wife at halftime, and I watched the band perform for the first time in my life. And it was awesome.
Yes.
Especially because I know the drum major, Trey Hancock, whose older brother played here, and Marcus is on the team. And, man, what an outstanding athlete Trey was as a drum major. Those guys are great athletes.
We did a piece on the Heritage Band on Brevard Sports Network, and we named them they are the best band in Brevard County.
This is dangerous here. You got to be careful. You do not want to make a mistake with 7 seconds.
Nope. And there's the punt.
The best punt of the night.
And I don't know with that little time.
No, you're taking a knee.
Well, no. I mean, I don't know why you would have touched it, period. I would just let it bounce and run the clock out. Because, there you try to catch it, it slips out. I mean, I guess either way, but still. That just looks like a mistake waiting to happen. Anyway, 1.1 seconds left to go in the half. And if it's anything other, Centennial's just putting literally 1 or 2 down linemen. And there's the knee taken. And we are headed to halftime, folks, with your score. They're up on the Global Polygraph Analysis scoreboard. Heritage 7, Centennial 0. We'll be back with second half action right here on the Brevard Sports Network in about 15 minutes. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brevard Sports Network. Also, if I can get the charger.
Oh.
It's all right. Back on, let me change the quarter here. 7-0 there on your American Air and Plumbing scoreboard. We're in the third quarter, not the second. I thought I changed that, but, you know. That's why I don't get paid to think. That's Alan's job. He'll be thrilled to hear that one.
We may have some new viewers tuning in that double take the scoreboard. Yes, it is 7-0. Centennial defense doing a phenomenal job. And the Heritage offense having some chemistry issues, just some mistiming. And, I'm sure that they'll figure that out.
And a little pooch kick.
That's not the guy you want to pooch it to.
Nope. because of that right there, number 1.
If you want to,
yeah.
If you pooch it to a guy wearing 50-something or, 40-something or 70-something. Don't pooch it to number 1.
No.
Because he's their punt returner.
Exactly. That's Demetrius Samuel.
He returned one house last week.
Right.
I mean, okay.
Hey, look. I'll say this. So when I was with Rockledge, Trey Nixon was still playing for Vieira. And Coach Lusk, who was coordinating with the kickoffs.
Legendary Coach Lusk.
Yes. Said, do not kick it to Trey Nixon. Well, what does he do? First play of the game, kicks it to Trey Nixon.
Oh, what a cut.
And
what a cut. There he goes.
There's number 12 tripped up.
Great tackle by number 6, Damian Farron, but
Tayshawn Benson
with the cut. Man, I tell you what, he can cut full speed and not miss a step. And that was a great hole by the offensive line there. Heritage coming right out of the locker room, fired up. You know they are not happy about the score at the halftime. They wanted to put up more points than 7 in the first half.
Yes, they did. Like you said, Farron with a touchdown saving tackle. There's Benson again. Benson still dragging defenders to about the 4 or 3 yard line. And you know what? I say you hand it off to Benson again. And, okay, so they'll back it up. 2nd and goal from the 5 here in the Global Polygraph Analysis Red Zone. And whistles blow this play dead.
Mouthpiece. Player didn't have his mouthpiece, and the white hat said, son, you got to have that thing in your mouth.
That'll irritate coaches. Swings it out, and he'll be stopped at the 1.
Is that 0?
It's either 0 or 8.
Is that TJ Monroe?
Monroe stopped at the 1. 3rd and goal from the 1. Last time they were inside here, it was a Benson. Townsend.
Benson touchdown.
You're right. Benson touchdown.
Yep. And I think that he will touch the ball.
Nope.
No. Quarterback sneak.
And Tenta went in too high.
There's a flag. Illegal shift.
Illegal shift on Heritage.
I don't know what the shift was. He was set for a second. I hope he wasn't calling that on the quarterback moving forward because he had to get set for a second to take the snap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, I'll say Tenta went in too high on that. I understand you're wanting to kind of be up and leaning on your lineman, but you kind of want to put your shoulder pads into your lineman's back and stay low there.
The Tom Brady method?
Yes. Yes. I mean, he had so much success with it, did he not?
Yeah, he scored quite a few touchdowns on quarterback sneaks and first downs.
Yes. Patrick Mahomes absolutely hates it, but that's because last time he did one, he got stepped on by his own lineman, stepped on his throwing arm. Tenta hands it off to Benson.
Down
and
to the 5.
Benson getting stopped there by number 20. Coming in to make the play, Jordan Holmes.
4th and goal here from the 5.
Check that. That's Jermonte Kimbrough.
Centennial defense still holding their ground here.
Fourth and goal from the 5. And Tenta. Do they get the offsides or timeout called by Centennial? And while we have a timeout, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you more about some of our other great sponsors. American Air and Plumbing, Brevard's go-to pros for Florida Tough AC and plumbing services, and proud sponsors of the Brevard Sports Network Florida Tough Player of the Month. So for those who didn't see our preview show last night, here's our Florida Tough Player of the Month. Each week, we will give an offensive player of the week and a defensive player of the week. Then at the end of the month, we'll take all those offensive and defensive players, we'll lay out all their stats, and then the fans will help us vote who they think, based on stats and everything, get a chance to help us pick who our Florida Tough Player of the Month is.
Awesome.
Fan interactive, and numbers and opponents will all be factored.
Recognition for these guys.
Exactly.
Oh no, the receiver moved.
And that was TJ Monroe.
That's, as a former wide receiver coach, I can tell you that is very frustrating. We tell those guys, watch the football, do not listen. You just watch the football. When the ball moves, you move.
And it's something I talk about all the time. As you being a former coach, pre-snap penalties are unacceptable. False starts, things of that nature.
It's so hard to get, especially the offensive line, to go on 2.
Yes.
You want to go on 2. It keeps the fast defense on their heels a little bit. All right, here we go.
4th and goal from the 10. Tenta drops back, steps, fires. And it's nearly intercepted. Once again, another near interception. That one by number 5.
He had pressure. Joe had somebody in his face as he was letting go of the ball. Well defended by Centennial. Centennial defense playing one heck of a football game here tonight.
We do not have a number 5 on the roster for Centennial. But that's the second. Actually, if you're talking about the 2-and-1 play, that's about the 3rd dropped interception for Centennial tonight.
And the second time they've held him in the red zone on 4th down?
Absolutely. And Mello hands off to the back. The back gets stuffed up there. Might have gotten a yard on the play.
There was a good question over there by Coach Dominguez. Why don't they kick a field goal? You have to have confidence in your field goal unit and your kicker in order to run them out there on the field. And, you take the hash, kicking in the angle from the hash into consideration. You take the fact that corner of the field is the wettest part of this football field into consideration. So the footing isn't great. And at the end of the day, it's a tough decision.
Mello and Smith. Mello takes a shot and trying to jump the route there.
That was great coverage.
But was
right on the spot.
Number 1, Demetrius Samuel Jr.
Looked like, is that Deaven McDonald, number 7?
I thought it was number 1.
Yeah, I think that's Deaven. Yeah, Deaven looks like a lineman but moves like a receiver. He is one heck of a football player. He's dropped out there in coverage.
But again, going back to that issue we were talking before pregame, easy, dropped interceptions, turnovers that need to be made happen. He makes that interception. He's walking into the end zone.
Yeah, it was pretty far over his head.
It was.
Yeah.
But Mello drops back, roaming the field. And is that an interception?
They're going to call flag. They're going to call pass interference.
If it stands, number 22, who I don't have on this roster, but I'll search the other roster. But like you said, I think it's going to be null and void, pass interference.
Too tight a coverage. Good job by the quarterback buying himself some time, getting out of the pocket and, giving his team a chance.
I'll say this, you would look at the scoreboard and say, well, Centennial's offense hasn't been able to do much. It hasn't been because of their quarter. I mean, the quarterback's made one or two, decisions that haven't been the best, but he hasn't done anything to truly detriment the team.
Yeah, they're doing enough. However it looks on film, they're doing enough to keep them in the game. Obviously their defense is keeping them in the game, but the offense, like you said, is not shooting themselves in the foot enough
to say, oh, it's solely on them.
For this game to be out of control.
Nope. And it's Smith. Smith on the carry, and Smith picks up 6 or 7 yards.
Now you're in a third manageable here.
So second down.
I'm sorry. They flipped that.
Yeah, they did.
Marker pretty quick.
Yeah, the pass interference makes it first down, and then so 2nd and 4, flagged prior to the play. That'll be first down yardage.
Check the penalty. Probably offsides. Nope, false start.
And that's a kind of drive killer right there. You got 2nd and 4.
Yep.
And now it's 2nd and 14.
That's where the defensive guys are like, "Come on, guys, help us out. We're keeping you in the game, Got to cut out the mistakes. You're getting away from the shadow of the goalposts. You got to keep that drive going."
.708 left to play here in the third quarter.
Jomo Gordon tuning in to watch the game. His younger brother, Tahjay Douglas, number 10 for the Heritage Panthers. Jomo Gordon, all the all-time receiving records of every stat you can think of at Bayside High School.
Wow. Mello in the gun. Fakes the handoff to Smith. And trying to cut back. You're not going to be able to cut back on number 4.
Yeah, the offense is just, you get a little momentum, you move the ball a little bit, and then you take 2 steps back, and you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 8.
Okay.
Tim Baker tuning into the broadcast. Tim Baker, legendary offensive line coach, Melbourne High School, Heritage High School.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Mello just dumps it off to the back, who slips one man, runs into his own lineman, and look.
It's too slow. Yeah, it's too slow to develop. Heritage has absolutely eaten up any screen attempt by Centennial in this game.
Look, as a former lineman, I can definitely tell you, if there's one thing my offensive line coach has always told us. I was lucky enough to be coached for 1 year by Coach Chuck Wood.
That's a name.
The legendary Coach Chuck Wood. He would say, look, if a guy gets past you, I better not see the back of your jersey trying to chase the guy. He goes, because we're linemen. We don't chase anybody because we ain't gonna try. You ain't gonna catch them.
Yeah.
Just go forward and find work and hope your running back can, bounce off because of a situation just like that. Now
just
you're running
working upfield.
Right. Yeah. You're running into your running back now and.
Well, I remember Coach Baker would always say, "Don't pass another colored jersey."
Right.
when you're running a screen and you're running those linemen out into the flat, out into the boundary, you ideally, you tell this guy, you have the numbers, you have
right.
the alley, you have the hash, but don't run by a guy because you think that you're supposed to be out in the numbers, and don't run by a guy if you think you're supposed to be on the hash. You see another color jersey, you engage him. But, it can be frustrating with linemen in space.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get lost.
I don't know what you're talking about. Us linemen never get lost. We are the smartest people on the field. If you believe that one, I'll tell you another. But a penalty occurred on Heritage that gave Centennial a first down.
Rachel Webster joining the broadcast. She has a lot going on in this game. She's got the drum major out there. She's got the safety out there.
Mello drops back, trying to set up a screen. Another slow developing. That one thrown up, and
another flag. Centennial is struggling to find something here against this Heritage defense.
Holding on the defense.
Palm Bay up 47-0 on Harmony, beginning of the fourth quarter. What a bounce back by the Palm Bay Pirates. Last week shutout 24-0 here at Heritage. Goes to Harmony 47-0. Start of the fourth quarter to Palm Bay.
Flag was thrown. And that was another penalty on Heritage.
Holding on Centennial,
personal foul
on Heritage.
All right. Lots of penalties happening here. Blue, don't ask.
I'm at a loss.
Mello. Holding happened during the play. I believe he called dead ball, personal foul. So then it should just basically be a loss of 5.
He said he did decline, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was for. Okay.
But he's saying the
penalties keeping this drive alive.
So he was saying that they offset and
now we have a stoppage.
Delay again. But then he calls it delay a game. Okay. So back that previous play. Holding, right? That happened during the play. Dead ball.
This is Knives. You know those movies, Knives Out? That's what we have right here. We're trying to solve a murder, but we're not. So anyway. So here we are. First down and 14.
We love the MCOA here on the Brevard Sports Network. Mello is going to dish it out to Smith. Smith gets about 4 or 5 yards on that swing pass.
That's worked well for them tonight. When they're able to get the ball out quick and get it on that swing pass out to the flat, a lot of defensive coordinators are fine giving up a flat because the quarterback's got to throw the ball 20, 25 yards for you to get maybe 1 or 2 on the completion, and then Swarm Gang rallies over there to make the tackle. A lot of defensive coordinators will give up a flat.
Yes. Mello.
As long as you keep it contained.
2-by-2 set for Centennial. Mello drops back, trying to go down the field. There, pass number 3. Number 3 breaks a tackle. He'll have himself a first down and then some.
Good protection up front for him to have the time to allow that crossing route to get over the middle of the field.
Kalik Williams making a play happen, and here comes Centennial now. Now they strung a couple of plays together. And now they're going to run
across the 50.
They're running a little NASCAR, as I call it. That's what I always called, hurry up tempo.
Or the threat of NASCAR, and then check with me.
Now let's see if I'll give you 2 plays. Can you read the correct defense? And great cut up inside. There by number 13 on the carry. Brandon Mosley.
Tackled by number 44, LaQuinton Thompson. I think this roster is more updated than the
probably
combined one because we've got Daniel Cawley on
Okay.
On this one also,
Well,
number 45.
that's why Alan gave me both. He's going to hand off to Smith. Smith fighting his way up for another gain of about 6 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2.
Centennial moving the ball, and maybe more importantly for them, they're eating the clock.
Yes. And giving their defense a well-deserved rest.
And they're winning field position.
Yes.
So,
and gives it off to Smith again. Smith has a first down. He only needed 2. He picks up 4.
Yeah. And the only, I say only, the only weakness last week that I saw with Heritage was one-on-one tackling. And Centennial now is running through a couple arm tackles and able to move the ball down the field. This is a good timeout here for Heritage to be able to regroup a little bit. Coach Ainsley talked to his guys.
I'd also like to continue to thank our partners here on the Brevard Sports Network. I'd like to give a shout out to a lot of our sponsors right here. Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design, Connect Sports Funding, BlackRock Engineering and Technology, Zone 6, UbrZati, and Best Private Investigations.
Update on the Cocoa St. Thomas score. Cocoa 22, St. Thomas Aquinas 14 with 7:22 left in the third.
Cocoa up over St. Thomas, 22-14. Come on, Coach Schneider and the Cocoa Tigers. A victory over St. Thomas.
Got head coach Corey Durfus tuning in, head coach of the 12U West Melbourne Colts.
They're an okay squad.
They're nasty.
Coach Durfus, please don't kill me. Mello gives off to Smith. Smith trying to get outside and trying to go around that left side has not worked for them.
Especially when number 12's over there. You're not going to beat him off the edge.
No. I mean, because Benson, and the thing about Benson is he got, so disciplined again. So many times you see something like that happen and that end wants to come up and, make the glory tackle. And Benson can do it. But he's been shown real discipline staying that outside and still making the tackle. Mello calls the snap. He's got all day to throw now, finally getting some pressure. There's where those bear crawls come in. Mello throws, nearly intercepted. It would have been a tough one for him to bring in. There's number 9.
Great job by Mello there. All night he's been able to get out of the pocket and give his guys a chance. But I tell you what, that timeout, you give Mark Ainsley some time to talk to his guys and let them catch their breath.
Yep.
I mean, he's the best in the business for a reason. And here we are, 3rd and 15.
Smith in the backfield again. Mello giving his instructions. Mello drops back, surveying. Fired.
Great close.
And nearly intercepted again.
Great close there by Samuels.
And so that'll bring up 4th and long, about 4th and 15.
Was that Samuel? I might need to have my eyes checked.
Might have been Samuel.
I've got my glasses on too, Caleb. How's that?
I'm going to plead the 5th, and
it's been a couple years. I need to get an update.
I will show respect to my elders. But now, it'll be interesting to see how this punt goes.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I think he did it off the side of his foot on purpose.
There's a flag on Heritage.
Yep.
That wasn't smart.
It's going to be an illegal block in the back.
I mean, what I saw was the ball was live, and a Heritage guy hit a Centennial guy head-on, like a block. It was pretty aggressive, but this is football. I don't know. I didn't see a hold. He's calling holding. I
don't know about the holding.
I
know on the far sideline, I did see a block in the back. Like the Heritage player kind of peeled back.
I thought over on the far sideline.
Yeah,
that's what I saw too. But I thought he hit him the front of him. I didn't think he hit him in the back. But I don't know. Again, maybe I need to get my glasses updated. Coach Leon Frazier tuning in.
Don't forget, after all of the games, check out keep it hosted to the Brevard Sports Network for our post-game show live from Walk-Ons.
Leon, I know you saw my Lions last night. Biggest win in 40 years. Let's go.
Tenta, 1st and 10 from the 10. He's going to hand it
there
off.
He goes.
And he's got room, and he'll just kindly step out of bounds.
That's a huge run there. You get away from the end zone, get out, get some space, some breathing room.
Benson on the carry.
He's such a great football player. I feel like his ceiling is so high.
Yes.
I feel like he's going to grow more. He's going to put on weight, and one day he's going to be unrecognizable. You put a picture of him from high school to a picture of him from a couple years in college on that meal plan with a nutritionist.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his ceiling is so high.
Going to be 1st and 10. Tenta, sidearm, and he hits Timothy Monroe over the middle.
There's some timing for Tenta with the receivers. Hopefully for Heritage, that translates into a sustained drive here. We can keep hitting those guys in stride like that.
1:47 left to go here in the third. It's 1st and 10 at about the 34 or 33 yard line.
Got some score updates here for you after this play.
Tenta calls for the snap. Swing pass out to the wide receiver, and Monroe gets about 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
We got Oak Galley 28, Winter Haven 0, Titusville 42, Celebration 0, Holy Trinity 35, Palm Beach Christian 0, and Cocoa Beach. I've got to click to see more. Cocoa Beach 34. Pearson Taylor 0, Fort Pierce Central 34, Bayside 7. I saw a different Bayside score earlier. I must have.
2nd and 6. Tenta threw that one kind of in the ground.
I think 33 Brooks hit him late there. That's another one of those timing personal foul. Oh, I guess he grabbed his face mask. So that'll be a 1st down for Heritage.
Yes, it will.
But that's another one of those timing routes that have just been off for Heritage.
And so that'll, like you said, grant them the 1st down. 15 yards. And that will put them in plus territory now. About the 47.
Got 45.9 seconds left in the third here.
And Tenta will hand off, and there
gone.
Goes Benson.
He's gone.
He's got one man to beat. Racing to the end zone. Touchdown! Tayshawn Benson.
Anytime he touches the ball, he's one play away from scoring. I don't care where the ball's at.
47-yard touchdown. And the kick is up and blocked.
Yep, it was just not good. Not good, I guess, snap, getting the ball down. And that's the reason why they didn't kick a field goal earlier, Coach Dominguez.
Let us be clear, coaches. Coach Dominguez said that we were just simply answering his question.
Yes.
But Heritage up with 36.3 seconds left to go in quarter number 3, 13-0.
That was a score that the Heritage defense was extremely excited about. Because they're doing the same thing Centennial's doing. They're keeping them in the game, Say, come on, offense, let's go. Let's do something here. And that takes a little bit of pressure off the Heritage defense right there.
Can you give us one more score? You know, and then if your defense, that's all you're asking. Give us one more score. Go up 2 scores, and we promise you this game's safe. Not that it wasn't safe under 7-0, but it's always nice to have that security blanket of that second score.
36.3 seconds left in the third.
I'm talking to a defensive guy who's like, no, if I'm that defense, I want to give up no points. I don't need a security blanket. And a little breaking tackles, but finally finished off.
Score update, Rockledge 43, Vieira 14, and Cocoa 22, St. Thomas Aquinas 20.
Wow.
2-point game there down in St. Thomas.
22-20. Come on, Coach. Come on, Coco. Look, I have no problem saying that. You have any Brevard County team going out and playing any out-of-county team, you should always be rooting Brevard County, no matter who you root for in county. It should be Brevard versus everybody. And there's Smith, who will get swallowed up and dropped by number 54.
Zack Hicks.
Zack Hicks coming in and saying, "You are going nowhere." And that will be the final play of quarter number 3 with your score on the Connect Sports Funding scoreboard. Heritage 13, Centennial 0. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter in just a moment. And 1. Welcome back, everyone, to the Brevard Sports Network. Fourth quarter action. Fresh 12 on the clock. And it'll be 2nd and 12. For Centennial. Mello sends a man in motion.
Screen.
You know what? That was a good setup. However, what you can't account for,
they can't run. They haven't been able to run the screen tonight. Heritage doing a phenomenal job playing the screen.
DeShaun Harper, I believe, was in on the tackle.
I mean, it's second down. Second down's a good down for a screen, and it's good to run a screen every once in a while to keep the defense honest. But, man, Heritage is just all over it.
I would say they're beating it and getting underneath. Mello drops deep back. Somehow escapes the tackle. Makes another man miss.
Wow.
Making 3 men miss.
What a great play.
And drops it in the breadbasket. That's a first down and then some.
What a great play.
Number 13 on the reception.
Man, Mello, the sophomore, making great plays against this defense.
To Darion Thompson, the senior wide receiver, making that catch. Three by one set. And like I said, Mello's making excellent decisions trying to keep his team in this game.
He's quite an athlete.
But he drops back deep. And
there's a flag.
That time I think he tried to take too much of a chance. If you drop it there to number 2, you at least get a 5-6 yard gain.
Yeah, he doesn't have a size advantage with his receivers over these Heritage DBs, so him throwing those balls up like that is not good.
You know, just I would have thrown a light pass there, number 2 underneath. If he falls forward, you're getting
false start on Centennial.
And then, again, those, that's a shooting yourself in the foot moment.
Yeah. You get a big play and then false start.
We've been giving Centennial compliments all night of how we felt like they were managing to find ways to stay in the game, but too many issues like that. Mello calls for the snap, steps up, fires, and that was nearly intercepted. Number 21 for Heritage. That's Mikey Gillis. Well, hold on. I have 3 number 21s on this roster.
Ramir Davis.
Okay, Ramir Davis nearly had himself a pick. And overthrowing his running back, number 2, Paul Burris II. Almost seems like he's getting happy feet and kind of.
Well, the big plays of the game have been when Mello's able to move around.
Yeah.
And, that's the hardest play to defend is a quarterback scrambling on a pass play.
Agreed.
Because you spread the defense out, whether it be man or zone, you spread that defense wide open and you open run lanes by the D-line. They've got to find some kind of a set here where they can continue to move the ball against Heritage.
Mello being chased out of the pocket.
That's a big sack.
And that's number 11.
Number 11, DeShaun Harper.
Harper with a sack. With 9:53 left to go here in the game.
Heritage defense got guys stepping up all over the place.
And Centennial will be forced to punt as it's 4th and a country mile.
Yeah, it was first down at midfield. And then the Heritage defense tightens up.
You see Coach Palmer down there, or is that Ainsley? He was jumping at something like leaving the ground.
They might not have been aligned properly, or.
High snap. He's got to try to get this. Somehow still able to get it off. And you know what? Not a bad punt either.
Was out of bounds at the 38?
Look, that could have been a disastrous play.
Yeah.
So the fact he got it there to the 38 is pretty amazing. It's Mello who's doing the punting. Don't forget, coming up after the game, about 45 minutes to an hour after this game ends, stay here on the Brevard Sports Network for post-game show. The walk live from Walk-Ons, the beautiful back patio of Walk-Ons. And we would ask, you want to, come on down. Come say hi to us. You know, players, coaches, come on down. Tell us what you saw. Love to see you down at Walk-Ons. Great food, great atmosphere. There's a handoff to Benson. Benson.
Denise Peters joining the broadcast. Hall of Fame literacy coach. Longtime Brevard Public Schools teacher, great mentor to me in the classroom. Denise, I hope you're having a great evening.
So it's going to be, got a gain of about 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7. Tenta swings it out wide. Gets it to number 3.
And there's a flag.
And I think they're going to call it here on number 69.
You see that burst by Alexander after he caught the ball?
Yeah.
That defender really thought that he was in a good spot, but he saw some of that D1 speed.
Up close and personal, and then bye-bye. And it was a holding penalty. And that'll set back Heritage behind the sticks. 1st and about 17. There's the handoff.
Great
and
out block. He's gone. They ain't going to get him.
Benson, Tayshawn Benson to the house. Touchdown, Heritage.
I'll tell you what, I could hear it from up here, that kick-out block by Damian Laguna, number 77 on that, open up that hole. And that's all Benson needs is a little bit of a gap, and he is bye-bye.
I mean, that one was 60-plus.
If you play it back later on, you might hear that kick-out block of 77 Laguna. That's the third touchdown run of the night.
And they've got progressively longer, too. First one was 1.5 yards out. Second one was, I believe, from 47 yards out, and that one is from 60-plus.
Have yourself a night.
And 2-point conversion is good.
Keegan Machell on the 2-point conversion.
And it's 21-0.
Proud Papa down there at the end of the press box. He said, we'll take 2. Hey, that gets your name in the paper.
That does get your name in the paper. For those that read the paper.
We are joined here in the booth by Heritage Principal Stephen Link.
Oh, hold on, I'll go and I'll give him my headset. All right, Blue, you can talk to Link.
This is Coach Link. He is the all-time winningest basketball coach here in Heritage High School history, now principal. Worked his way through the administration ranks to get his dream job here at Heritage High School. Coach Link, what do you think about your football team here?
You know, Coach Benson's doing a great job coming in as a first-year coach. Obviously, we had some kids transfer in, wanting to be a part of the program, and the way he's held the kids accountable on campus, on the field, is probably the most impressive part so far. Obviously, the shutouts are nice, but the way the kids are acting on and off the field is really the most impressive part so far.
Yeah, that's a huge challenge when you have so many talented athletes. You know, they tend to come with a little bit of ego, and then finding a way to get them to come together, but also hold them accountable and follow the rules, be leaders on campus, you know, on and off the field. I know that the other administration and faculty are pleased to have you as their leader here at Heritage, one of their own. And, man, I tell you what, there's a vibe on that campus, not just the football team, but also the leadership. And it's a great time to be a Panther.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, my goal this year, my hashtag on every Facebook post and to my staff has been building and restoring Panther pride, because, you know, I was fortunate to be the first head coach there for basketball, and not just basketball. Those first 4 or 5 years on our campus was something just something really, really special. And my goal is to bring that back as principal. And, you know, the football team is a big part of making that happen. You know, they have home games starting the first and second week of school, so them having the success is spilling over into the rest of our school, and just the culture is improving each and every day.
And I know that you value your faculty as well. Tell us about what we see down there beginning of the games, before the games, with all the faculty and the tables and the grill going on down there. What are you doing down there?
Yeah, tonight the weather, we had to move it indoors a little bit, but, you know, one of the things I miss that's kind of gone away the last few years is, you know, we used to have every home game with everybody's family was out here, little kids running around and just having fun. So, you know, each game we've had a group sponsor a teacher tailgate. So we're out there grilling for them and providing food for them. And last week we had over 120 people come out and just enjoy the game. Tonight's weather pushed it away, but we still had some brave folks come out and enjoy it. But just bringing the faculty together and the families together, I think it can really spill over and to impact our school and even our community.
So if you're a Heritage alumni or you're a Heritage supporter and you want to help out the football team, the faculty, and do what Coach Link's talking about, you know, let him know, reach out to him. He's looking for sponsors for that food for the faculty for these football games, for the home games.
No doubt. I don't get to control their pay, but what I can do is feed them. So that's the one thing I can control, and I try to feed them as much as I can, and they appreciate it.
Oh, big sack. Big play there by number 56. Connor Robinson, the Hulk.
Yeah, the defense is fantastic. I love watching these kids run around and play. And obviously, as you guys have probably talked about up here, the D-line just keeps coming. You take 2 out, and you got 2 more that are amazing coming right big in behind them. So they're doing a great job, and I'm looking forward to next week's real challenge over at Oviedo.
Yeah, Thursday night, Brevard Sports Network. We will be in Oviedo broadcasting that game live. If you can't make the trip, tune in, Facebook Live, Brevard Sports Network. Caleb and I will be there. Coach Link is a huge football fan, and so he knows the game. He's a big Florida Gators
Yeah, we're not going to talk
alumni.
about the Gators right now, but that's okay. Luckily, we have not had 2 number 3s on the field tonight for Heritage.
That could be trouble. Samuel on the return. Gets Heritage down inside the red zone. They'll have a short field here with 6:41 left in the game.
Yeah, it was tough early. I mean, we've been lucky this year so far. We haven't played on a sloppy field, so it was definitely the boys took a little getting used to that wet ball and not be able to make those cuts like they've been making all year. So I'm glad they get that out of their system, because, you know, in Florida we're going to have more of those games.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, with quarterback play, 90% of all bad throws are feet. And when you're having, you know, sloppy footwork, that can add to some off-target throws. Looked like we had Samuel in the backfield there. He's going to maybe get a carry out of the backfield. Well, Coach Link, you've been doing some great things on campus, trying to revive that initial heritage pride that when they first opened the school. I remember when the school opened, I was at Bayside. There was a lot of Bayside people that came over here with Coach Tuttle, the late Coach McGrew, and there was a vibe here right out of the gate. And that football team did really well, really fast under A.J. Ulmer, the now athletic director. So you've got a lot of the same faces, a lot of people that have been here since the school opened, and you got your rubber track. Finally, Heritage, Coach Dean Benson, you guys have a great track program, and now that you've got that rubber track, that's going to be a game changer, I believe, because you'll be able to host meets here. You guys send athletes to the state meet every year. You guys are heavily represented in the regional meet every year. So, man, there's just a lot going on here at Heritage to be proud about. Yeah,
no doubt. Coach Benson does a great job, and I know with this track we're going to get even more training going on there.
And there is Samuel on the carry. He gets to the edge.
Get there.
And he's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown. Heritage pouring it on late here. This is the offensive production that we were looking for right out of the gate. But like Coach Link said, the field was wet. It was a little bit sloppy. There's still chemistry being developed between Joe Tenta and the receivers that, a lot of guys came in, and you got to develop timing and chemistry with those guys. It looks like we're going to – not sure what's going on right now. Oh, they called holding? Okay.
Shocked. Hopefully you guys have got a chance to recognize our band tonight too. Our band is without a doubt, my humble opinion, the best in the county. They do an amazing job putting on a show. And we just like to give them as much praise as possible too, because they work hard.
Brevard Sports Network did a piece about the band, and we said it there. They are the best band in the county. We always love watching them.
And their captain, Trey Hancock, I know you guys interviewed him, but that young man is impressive.
Samuel again with the carry. Out to the edge. Looks like you got it to about the 7. And there's another flag. Who the Gators play tomorrow?
I believe McNeese State. Is that correct?
All right.
Hopefully we'll get the dub tomorrow.
That's a good back on track game.
7 o'clock kick. Hopefully my little ones will stay up and watch with me. We'll see if Mom lets them.
Are you planning on going to any games this year?
We'll see. The game times aren't out yet. Vanderbilt is homecoming. If that's a noon kick, I might try to get up to that one. My 8-year-old Blair is obsessed, so I'd like to get him to a game.
You got to give a shout out to the wife while you got to open mic. Go ahead.
She's doing Brooks is at home doing bass with 4 boys right now, so
attaboy.
They were here running around in the mud, so she's doing her part.
She's a saint, by the way. If you don't know her. Coach Link is a great guy and all that, but his wife is the glue.
There's always a good lady behind the guy, right?
That's right. Well, Coach, it's been awesome having you up here with us. Thank you for coming to visit. We know that you have administrative duties to do as this game wraps up. So come by anytime and see us. And good luck with your hopefully long tenure here at Heritage High School.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing. Everything's
Looking
great.
Looking forward
to
it. Hopefully we can get some internet in the gym. You come to a basketball game this year too, because
They're gonna
have a great year this year as well.
Yeah, Coach Gage, what a great guy. Yeah, a great coach.
I appreciate you guys coming out. Go Big Blue.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great conversation there.
Yeah, Coach Link.
So it's first and about 25. Tenta play action, and
you got to come back for that.
Well, it was hard for him to come back because
it wasn't. Yeah.
Listen, that was good coverage.
Hey, listen, I'm a receivers coach. That was what I did the most. And so I'm always going to be overly critical of receivers. And whenever I see a ball in the air, If that receiver doesn't stick his foot in the ground and come back and fight for it, I'm going to be overly critical. But that's just my instinct.
And look, let me be fair. Blue has way more coaching credibility than anything I have to say. But I'll just say from an broadcaster, the defense, the defender did a good job stepping in front.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
and getting in, knocking that down. The one who's trying to defend the players here against the coach. And there's Benson, and Benson
drags the guy for a few yards.
He'll gain a couple of yards there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and I think 16.
And we got 5:45 and running on the clock.
Again, remember, coming about 45 minutes to an hour after this game ends, Walk-On's post-game show. Come on. Seriously, if you've never been to Walk-On's, please come on down. Great atmosphere, great food. They got Cajun-style food and TVs everywhere.
Kim Davidson joining the broadcast. Talk about Hall of Famers. That's a Hall of Fame guidance counselor right there, the head of the guidance department here at Heritage High School. Kim Davidson has a firefighting family.
Wow.
A house full of civil servants. Thank you guys for your service and watching after our community.
That's a profession that, I was one of those kids that, I want to be a firefighter when I grow up. Well, I went and saw some of the training. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I'm just going to go find something else to do.
No, that's a tough job.
It is. Like I said, I saw the training, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to waste anybody's time here. There are other things that I'm more qualified to do. Tenta on 3rd down. He's going to throw it up, and it's caught. And hold on.
We have a flag.
There is a flag. And there was
interference on the offense.
I didn't see it.
Back. It'll be 3rd down again.
Folks, just forewarning, there are coaches up here, and we are not responsible for anything that they say if you hear. Yeah.
Coach Gordon Gamble tuning in. Running backs coach here at Heritage High School for a long time.
Heritage faithful, not a fan of that call. So now it's, what is it, third and a trip around Disney World. Let's call it that. And Tenta's going to put this one up. And another flag, and this one I think is going to go against Centennial. 4:52 left to go in the game.
If you think there's a lot of flags in this game, there were 32 flags thrown against. It was a Vero Beach game a couple weeks ago. There was 45 penalties total in the game. 32 against Vero's opponent and 15 against.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
So 15 yards back, so they'll essentially get back the 15 yards they lost previously.
Do 3rd down again?
Yes.
Sounds good.
3rd down, and now it's only 3rd and only 15.
Want to throw it up to Alexander again?
I mean, if they're going to keep giving you one-on-one there.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he sticks his foot in the ground and runs a post, he might have something.
Gives it. You know what? Giving it to Benson's not a bad idea either. And Benson will gain about 3 or 4 yards.
This is
fourth
too
down.
far for a field goal, too close for a punt.
Take a shot at the end zone.
Very long fourth down. You take a shot.
You just say, "Hey boys, go in the end zone." Lineman, give Joe some time, and
or you hit one of these guys underneath and let them run it.
Yeah.
But I also, what I like right here? I like a hook and ladder right here.
Listen, this isn't Melbourne High School,
listen,
okay?
They're trying to keep everything in front of them. Throw that curl right down here.
Melbourne High School ran one in their
I saw that.
kickoff classic. That was beautiful. Tenta
he
fires.
just overthrew him a little bit. He had him and just overthrew it a little bit.
He had that was number 3. Alexander. So turnover on downs with 3:59 left to go.
Probably see some different faces out there on that Heritage defense. Mello's run for probably about 500 yards.
Oh, yeah, in scramble.
Total
scramble, forward, backward. And trying to zip it out to Smith. And incomplete, 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line.
Well, if the score holds true, the Heritage defense will remain unscored upon through 3 games, which on paper, everybody, anticipated that could happen, and they are living up to it. Ooh.
And wow, that was a great play made by number 20. Is that 28 or 20?
If it's 28, it's Nate Jennings. It's kind of hard to see that. 28 Nate Jennings. Yep. Yeah, that was like a little delayed quarterback delay draw there.
Yeah, the Elway delays, they called it. I think. If I'm wrong, Alan's going to come back and find me. If you're going to use it, use the right reference. Hand off, and he will get stuffed by that Heritage defense.
Gobbled up there.
Number 8 was the first one there to make contact.
Number 8, King Moore. Number 44 was in on that tackle, LaQuinton Thompson.
So we're just under 3 minutes left to go in the game.
So we're right where we talked about pregame. We know about the defense.
Yep.
We know what the offense can do.
But can they play a complete football game?
Yes. And you know what? That's not just Heritage. That's a challenge with any team.
Yes.
And any offense is if you can play 4 quarters.
But we are on the Heritage broadcast, and it's still been a question we've been asking of Heritage. Can they play a complete football game against?
And that goes over his head, and
that's a safety. So that's 2 points. 2 points on the football. That's 23-0.
Well, the score does not tell the story about the Centennial defense.
No.
If you're a Centennial fan, and you've been watching this game, you know that defense has played really well all night, kept them in the game for, a little over 3 quarters.
Look, when the defense is on the field 85-90% of the game, right, it is so hard if you don't have an offense that can score and keep up.
Now back to the Heritage offense. We've seen them at their best maybe not their best, but we've seen them very good for a couple quarters here, a couple quarters there. And when they're on point, you cannot focus on one thing.
Correct.
There's so many weapons. And when Joe's able to hit those guys in stride and when he's able to have timing and get that ball in the air before they come out of their break, and, I mean, the sky is the limit when they're on their game.
And there's the kick, and
That's
it's
not who you want to kick it to.
nope.
But
They got him
it
covered
worked
this
out,
time.
yeah.
That was Smith. Timothy Smith for Centennial comes down and makes the tackle. .210 left to go in the game.
I mean, you think about Benson's night. You want to talk about a special football player. Running the ball, playing defense, play multiple positions on defense if they needed him to, you know. We're going to see that name beyond Palm Bay for a few years to come at least. He's a special football player.
And they're going to hand it off here.
Alexander around the end.
Alexander pushed out of bounds, and look, I mean, I get it, but you should want to keep that inside and have the clock continue to run. I mean, I get as an offense you always want to, leave time to try to score, but.
And some people may be wondering why they're still starters. The offense has a lot of work to do.
Yes.
And there probably still have some plays on the play sheet that they didn't get to run earlier that they want to see on film so they can work on it going forward.
I'd like to thank all of our sponsors: Connect Sports Funding, Global Polygraph Analysis, Archaic Design, Beach Wave Volleyball Club, Solutions Property Management, Florida American Air and Plumbing, the sponsor of the Florida Tough Player of the Month. Any update on that Coco score? This Tenta gives it number 16. Number 16 fumbles it, picks it back up, and is thrown to the ground.
The latest Coco score I see here is Coco 36, St. Thomas Aquinas 34. Back and forth, down to the wire.
36-34, Coco still leads St. Thomas Aquinas. Keep it posted to the Brevard Sports Network. Again, 45 minutes to an hour after this game ends, I'm going to jump in the BSN mobile and fly down 95 all the way to Walk-Ons. Go get that set up. Myself, Jackson Robb, and Logan Pettit. And there's Dooley.
It looks like a first down. Daniel Cawley.
And that's a Heritage first down with 1:01 left. As soon as they spot the ball, clock goes a-running, and I think we should just see a Joseph Tenta knee and get out of here. So, folks, again, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors: American Air and Plumbing, Connect Sports Funding, Global Polygraph Analysis, UbrZati, Beach Wave Volleyball Club, Solutions Property Management, Kel Clean, and all of the sponsors that help the Brevard Sports Network do what we do. And they're going to hand the ball off one more time, breaking a couple tackles.
And on a personal note, there's a friend of mine who is having a hard time right now. If you all know Rob Quinn, prayers up. His family needs it. We're thinking about you.
And that will do it officially. The Heritage Panthers pick up a 23-0 win over Centennial. Again, congratulations to Centennial's defense. They're a fun group to watch.
Yeah, they played really well.
They did.
They played really well. They were put in tough spots. Heritage defense, third straight shutout. Classic game, gave up 2 points of safety, not on the defense. Heritage defense living up to the hype, absolutely. Heritage offense shows at times the potential that they have, and when that all comes together, the sky's the limit for this team. So they're very, very fun to watch, and luckily the weather cleared up for us here tonight.
Yep. All right.
Always a good time working with you, Caleb. Thank you.
Absolutely, Coach Blue. For Coach Blue and Principal Stephen Link, Athletic Director A.J. Almer, and Head Coach Michael Benson, I'm Caleb Brown for the Brevard Sports Network. Again, about an hour from now, the BSN high school football postgame show live from Walk-Ons. Come on and join us, everybody.